Time for a pint, Julie?
No, I'm straight off after this.
Sure.
My mum's expecting me. Better not.
Toodle pip.
Ah, to hell with it.
Can I help?
No, I'm fine, thank you.
Sure.
Yes, fine, honestly. I'm waiting on someone.
Okay.
Hello? Hello?
I hope you'll all take a copy before you leave.
All statistical evidence shows that our streets are no less or more safe than they were 10 years ago. But the perception that things are worse is widespread. Therefore, it follows that fear of street crime is as much a cause of worry to the public at large as is the effect of the actual crime on the victims themselves. For each direct victim of a crime, 10 more people's lives are blighted by the fear that it could happen to them. And it is this fear which limits and denies thousands of people access to our streets, particularly women, particularly at night.
He's very good, you know.
So when we talk about crime prevention on the street, we also have to take all those steps which can be taken to make our streets feel safer. Things such as improved street lighting, the rerouting of footpaths, easy access to public transport, and so on. And this has a direct knock-on effect. For a fear-free environment tends to be a crime-free environment.
I found the sergeant's talk very illuminating.
Thank you.
Can I ask, are you any closer to catching the man responsible for these rapes and assaults on women in the South Side?
Oh, damn it.
I really don't feel I should comment on individual cases. Suffice to say, we're doing all we can.
There's been 4 assaults this month alone, each one worse than the one before. Is it true he's sending you notes boasting about it?
That's an operational matter. I'd rather not say.
Yes, well, are there any other questions?
One last question, Sergeant, please. Where did you get the nickname?
Nickname? I don't quite follow you.
It's tonight's paper. They say the police have given him a nickname. The Mechanic. Why'd you call him that? Please. Please, no!
Well,
Don't rush the boy.
he'll have to decide soon.
I'm just not sure. The Grand Canyon.
Correct.
Yes!
The boy has X-ray eyes. He saw it through the carbon.
Right, that's it. Off to bed. Can I not wait up for Dad?
Oh, I don't know when he'll be back, son. Go on. Off
Night,
you
night,
go.
David.
Oh, night, Grandad.
Night, night.
Night, night, Gran. See you later.
Maybe he met somebody.
Yes, I expect so.
Hello, this is Julie Smith's mother. Yes, I was wondering, could you tell me, has she left work yet? 2 hours ago? No, I just was wondering. Well, she's not back yet. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
But is this growth coincidental? Or is there a coordinated Europe-wide movement to advance the case of fascism? Disturbing new evidence which we have uncovered has revealed international links between British fascist organizations.
I'm not worried. I'm just concerned.
Is it this mechanic thing?
Mechanic, how do you know about that?
A woman at the victim support group was asking Michael Jardine about it.
And that's the name she used.
He got a bit agitated when she mentioned it.
I'm not surprised. We've been trying to keep it quiet. We don't want everyone to know what this guy's habits are.
It was in the evening paper. Women are scared stiff, Jim. Everyone was talking about it.
Marvellous. Bloody marvellous.
With their European colleagues. While at the moment the far right in Britain is of only marginal political importance, commentators worry that the organizational and financial support from abroad will allow them to grow and develop.
You're supposed to be training her up. Sorry.
Only time will tell whether the growth of the neo-Nazis will be sustained or will wither away
Stand by
in the
two.
harsh climate of Western consumerism.
And cue Alistair and count.
That report was compiled before the decision of the ex-communist mayor of Dresden to defect to the Christian Democrats.
Stand by one.
That's all for this week. Remember that this is your program. Let us keep you in the picture. If you have anything you think needs to be investigated, the phone lines are open now. 041 242 9701, 041 242 9702. This is Alistair Hogg wishing you a very good night. I'll be back next week with another live edition of Crisis Point.
2,
Music lights
1.
and roll the Aston.
Will I say it first? Communist mayor? Who's he?
Herr Stutter.
Don't mock me or I'll be very upset. Who was an autocue anyway? Nigel Mansell?
He just wants to get to the pub first.
Well, you're buying you.
Production meeting tomorrow, 10 o'clock for next week's Runners and Riders. Good show, folks. Night.
Hello, stranger. Where have you been?
Research.
Ah, well, The last time behind the camera. Next week, the hot seat. I'm off. I have a hangover to arrange.
See you, Ian.
Morris, for goodness sake, I nearly jumped out of my... Why didn't you tell us you were here? What happened?
It's nothing. It's a scratch, that's all.
A scratch?
I caught someone trying to pinch the car.
The car?
It's okay, Dad. There's no problem.
You're bleeding? The car's been stolen? You said that there is
It's not stolen. I stopped them.
Have you been to the police?
What? I didn't get a clear look at him, so there's nothing I can tell the police.
They should be informed. I'll phone them.
No. Just leave it alone, okay?
The 7 o'clock news, I'm Ken Mitchell. The Scottish lawyer advising Libya on the Lockerbie bombing case says he has a very strong feeling that Colonel Gaddafi...
Julie, I hardly slept a wink. I was so worried. When did you go?
George Moore has met representatives of the Libyan regime in Malta. He's discussed...
I'll go and see if it's in yet.
Aye. He's a shout.
Hi, can I take out the new Volvo?
You what? The old gen will do you.
But you said I could do that.
I never said nothing. You'd have the paint off the side of it before you got it out of the yard.
Hey, but...
Barry! It's here!
Well?
We got it.
Yes, you beauty. That's great, eh?
It's bloody marvellous.
What is it again?
All right, I'm coming. I'm awful sorry to wake you. A late night, eh?
Aye, something like that.
It's a bit brisk this morning.
Not bad for the time of year.
Yes, yes.
Can I help you?
Oh, yes, sorry. Mr. Jamie O'Hare.
Well, I was when I went to bed.
I hope you don't mind, but I represent Go Scot Finance.
Are you selling something?
No, not at all, not at all. I've come to repossess your lorry.
What?
I'm awful sorry, but you know how it is.
And what if I don't know how it is?
Archie doesn't like complications.
Porno movies, is it?
Yeah. No, it's just some archive stuff I asked for.
I wanted a word.
Alison, water under the bridge, okay? I've seldom been chucked so charmingly.
I just wanted to be, you know, friends.
Let's see if we can manage as colleagues first, eh? After you.
Oh, don't you worry about that, Mr. Clements. I'll deal with the consignment notes. Take all the hassle off you. It's a pleasure to do business with you. I'll see you later. Bye.
Right. There's the necessary. And
Sign these before you go.
Ta, listen, I'm going to deal with this one personally. I don't want any slip-ups. Everything goes through me, no one else.
Not even Eddie?
Especially not Eddie. Right, I'm away up there. I'll be back about 6, love.
And, leave the biro.
I'll give you a gold-plated parka when this little lot comes in, darling. See you later.
Julie's never been away this long before. It was when I found her car at the station.
And the car was tampered with?
Yes. But what's so special about her car?
Well, I can't say at the moment. Give the constable a full statement. I'm sure there's nothing to worry about, Mrs. Smith.
What do you reckon?
It's the cars, Michael. Here, 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 and here. He immobilised the cars and then went after them. And I think the bastard's done it again.
Cause of death? Under these circumstances, I really want to hold fire. We'll carry out the PM as soon as we can. But I'll tell you this much. She's been dead less than 24 hours.
George, I'm going to take a couple of shots of this. You all right?
Aye. Aye.
When was this last load of earth dumped?
Late last night. He's come in through the back there.
How'd you know that?
The lock was broken this morning. We never thought anything of it.
Never thought nothing of it, no.
He's reversed into his car.
Yeah, his car, aye.
What's all this plastic over here?
That's a polythene membrane. Seals in the gases like.
Right, well, we're going to need a hand to move all this earth here. It's going to be going through with a fine-tooth comb.
Tooth comb?
Yeah, well, you feeling up to it?
Aye, fine. Brand new.
How exactly did you find her?
It was the first run of the day. I came up with a caterpillar to clear the road. Just looked down and saw her hand and...
That was when he fainted.
Suggestions for future shows include dog fouling, double glazing firms, timeshare sharks, but the largest percentage are going for women and crime. It's a clear leader.
I think we need a follow-up on the health item last week.
Well, maybe we could get a plate on the dog's death time.
Yeah, what's that disease that blinds kids?
Toxicat.
Toxicaricanis. Now, if we can wheel in a couple of blind bambinos, get our bloody Barney going.
I don't believe I'm hearing this.
What?
This mechanic thing has got the South Side going daft, and you want to do a programme about dog crap.
We've covered sexual assault and harassment. You can only do so much.
I'm talking about a new approach.
Such as?
A campaign. I mean, let's really go for it. Dedicate the whole of next week's programme to a Make Our Streets Safe campaign. Act instead of react. We're the only current affairs programme that's issue-based and goes out live. Let's cash in on it. Now, I was talking to this copper who's actually on the mechanic case. I think we could get him on the spot.
Well, let's keep your love life out of it.
Give it a break, Ewan.
Now, children, we can leave the format loose for a day or two and see how things pan out. Ewan, cut together some of the lung cancer stuff, and we'll have a look at the dog shit story. Contact the RNIB, just test the water, see if you can track down any kids with eyesight problems.
Okay.
Yes, but...
And you can work on the women and violence thing. Give me a couple of pages on how you see it developing, and we'll make our decision in a couple of days. Okay. Now, expenses.
Left-handed.
So forensics say they can tell by the angle of the cut, apparently.
Well, that's 80% of the population out the road.
Unless he was pretending to be left-handed.
There's still nothing on a DNA profile. They think he wears a condom.
Talk about safe sex. And now he's taken to calling himself the mechanic. The bloody newspapers.
4 assaults and then 4 notes. Now a murder. And in each case, he disables a car, then attacks.
Her car bonnet was opened by a thin bladed screwdriver, and then the rotor arm removed.
This is sick. It's really sick. I mean, what goes on in the head of somebody like that? You got a positive idea yet?
Come away in. I've been expecting you. I've just put the kettle on. You can sit down and have a nice cup of tea. Or coffee. Would you prefer coffee? I'm afraid I've just got the instant. Julie drinks that decaffeinated stuff. But honest to goodness, it bears about as much resemblance to the real thing as flying in the air. So is tea all right?
Yeah, tea's fine.
Sure. Or a sherry. Would you like a wee sherry? I've a half bottle somewhere left over from Hogmanay. I've got it here somewhere.
Mrs. Smith, would you like to sit down?
I don't want to know. Oh, don't tell me. For God's sake, please don't tell me, please.
Death from massive internal bleeding.
What exactly?
A shotgun. By the spread of the shot, I'd say pretty close range. But she had not been raped. No sign of any sexual assault.
But it fits the same pattern as the mechanic, doesn't it? I mean, we know this guy disables the car, and then he holds up the women with a shotgun.
I deal in absolutes, Michael. I leave the patterns to my betters.
I'll tell you one thing. She fought back.
How'd you know?
Cracked and broken fingernails.
Yes, that was interesting. The nails.
What was that?
There's some sort of crystalline powder underneath them.
Any idea what it was?
My dear fellow, I'm a forensic pathologist, not an analytical chemist.
Sorry, Doctor. Under a bit of pressure on this one.
Then I suggest you wait for the test results. Naughty, naughty.
That's wonderful, Mr. Newman. Thank you so much.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Piece of jade. She lost it in the sauna.
I believe her. Yeah, should be no problem.
Look, I have to nip out and deal with something.
So, you need my permission?
No, it's just that David's come up here after school.
Yes?
So could you,
Yes. I'll look up. I can still use a key.
Right then. Bye.
Morris.
What?
Nothing. Nothing at all.
Thank you. Tickets, please.
We're police officers.
Very good. Tickets, please.
We're on an investigation.
Very nice. Isn't it a travel card, is it? I get it in the night when Inspector comes on.
All right. Have you got change of 20?
No. She walks over to the car, can't start it. What's the first thing she does?
She goes to the ticket counter to see if there's a phone.
Which is, of course, unmanned during the hours of darkness and shut.
Very handy. So where's the nearest call box? He actually disabled her car and cut the phone cable.
I better let forensic check it over.
Right, so where to next?
Well, what would you do? She still had to get home somehow.
Right, we know she didn't take a bus. So she'd walk up to the main road to catch a taxi. This is it, Michael. This is it. I know he'd have chosen here.
Well...
You know he would. He'd have waited here for her. Any further, he's too close to the main road. Any closer to the station, he might have been spotted. There's no street lamps, it's perfect. Oh, Michael, this is creepy. He was treating her like some sort of prey.
You all right?
I'm fine. Top of the world. Oh, hell, I've got to go and see her boss.
Okay. Jackie, look at this.
Poisonous waste, effluent, that sort of thing. Last night, she was working on the asbestos analysis equipment in here.
Asbestos?
Yes, hence all the fume cupboards.
Is it safe?
Oh, yes. The whole environment works on negative pressure. The harmful fibers are drawn into the cupboards and filtered.
Do you know anything about any boyfriends?
I don't think there was anyone at the moment, no.
And she left late last night?
Yes, she said she had some work to finish. I asked her if she wanted to go for a drink, but... Rubbish dump. It's awful, just awful. I'm sorry.
No, there's no need to apologise, Mr. Stoker. Are you a married man yourself?
Yes, yes. Simeon Mill guy, overdrawn at the bank. 2.4 children. Mr. Normal, that's me.
Normality is a relative term.
What do you mean?
Well, whoever did this isn't walking around with fangs and a cloak. When we find him, and we will find him, Mr. Stoker, he'll look normal too.
Boo! No! For heaven's sake, don't do that. You've been smoking.
Not me. House tricks.
Get your jacket off, get the jade over and finish cabbing it.
Can I not have a go at the rock crystal?
I wouldn't even trust you to oil the lamp, all right? Now get on with it.
Where's my dad?
He's out
Where?
on business.
Business? Grandad,
What?
are you going to let me see the ruby? Please, let me see it.
You're here 2 minutes. The last time.
Are you going to finish cutting it up in time?
Cutting it?
Uh-huh.
You don't cut up a stone like that. You reveal it. I'm just discovering what was already there. It's perfect. Not a glitch, nothing.
I can hardly wait to see my grand's face.
Well, let's make sure we keep it a secret, huh?
Maybe when you've been married for 40 years, you could discover a stone like this for your wife, huh?
Me? I'm not getting married, Grandad.
Now get buffing.
It's like I'm part of it, you know? Implicated. Stood at that party and I just felt so bloody angry. It's like we'd all just got it wrong. Young girl, taken away like that. I mean, there must be more we can do. Does it ever get to you?
Me? I'm on the side of the angels, one of the good guys.
Are you? You never have any doubts?
I have yawning chasms of insecurity. Doesn't make you a bad person.
Do you never take anything seriously?
I take everything seriously, except myself.
Bullshit. Well, just cut the poor little me act. I don't need it.
We are wound up.
Well, I want to get him, Colin. I want to get him and make him wish he'd never been born.
I love it when you talk authoritarian. Give me some more.
Hanging's too good for him.
Ah, yes, the rope. Bring back the birch.
The phone's ringing.
The phone's ringing. No, I don't like that one quite so much.
Hello? Oh, Michael, how you doing? It's what? Oh, right. Okay, see you. They've identified the stuff under their fingernails.
And?
Alumina.
Come again?
Alumina, apparently it's some kind of grinding agent.
Are you still talking dirty?
For gems, it's used to grind precious stones.
I know what you're going to say.
So? Do we go big on women and safety or not?
I think it's a great idea. In fact, I've already set it in motion. I've had a word with Alistair about it. I want you to dig around for some background on street lighting.
Street lighting? But that's a researcher's job, surely.
Alison, it's your first week on camera. Let's not run before we can walk. I want you to be concentrating on looking the part, not gallivanting after stories.
I didn't get this chance because I look the part.
I've checked Julie's work. She's nothing to do with gem cutting. And there's not a trace of the stuff from the earth at the dump.
So, chances are it came from whoever attacked her.
Correct.
How many gem cutters are there in the Glasgow area?
It's not a long list. Jardine and Reed are checking it out now.
I'll leave it to him.
DCI Taggart. Who? Crisis Point? No, I'm afraid it's not possible.
All we want is an officer working in the mechanic case. Surely it would be of use to you.
Well, I'm afraid all my officers are too busy at the moment to appear on television programmes.
Mr. Taggart, I'm a responsible journalist. It would take a maximum of an hour.
It's out of the question. I suggest you contact the press department. Inspector Veach. Goodbye. Responsible journalist. Contradiction in terms.
Alumina? Of course, it's all over the place. Look.
What'd you use it for?
Well, it's a grinding medium for soft stones like rock crystal, jade.
And who has access to it?
Well, just me.
And me, Grandad.
Can you tell me what you were doing on the night of the 15th, last Wednesday?
Oh, I was at home.
Both of you?
Yes, both of us.
And can anyone corroborate that?
Yes, my wife, she was there. Look, what is this? We've always cooperated with the police. Is it stolen jewellery or something?
I'm afraid we can't say.
Could I have your wife's phone number, please?
You don't believe us?
My wife has a bad heart. Could I not phone her?
I'm afraid not. Can I have the number, please?
If we hit another brick wall, we'll lose our no claims bonus.
Hello, Sergeant.
Oh, hi. What can I do for you?
Well, it's about the request for that interview on the television.
I'll leave you to it.
Look, I'm afraid you're going to have to go through the channels.
We've tried, but your boss is stonewalling it.
Well,
Look, my boss doesn't know I'm here, but you'd be doing me and yourselves a favour. We've got a huge audience. Now, one of them might have seen something.
look, I really don't see how I can help you.
Cards on the table. It's my first time fronting the programme, and I just want it to be really good.
Look, I'll see what I can do, OK?
Thanks, Sergeant. Thanks a lot.
The programme's a bloody disgrace. Half-truth and rumours, dressed up as journalism, trying to do our job. I wouldn't be seen dead watching it, let alone one of my officers speaking on it. Did you follow up the jeweller's angle?
We've checked all 5 gem cutters, sir. Nothing.
We're still sifting through the rubbish up at the tip, sir. The boys are wanting a disinfectant allowed.
Oh. Well, tell them I'll arrange the next search in a perfume factory.
We've compiled a list of about 2,300 possible suspects, sir, based on past Scottish offenders, you know, men aged between 16 and 65 in the area of the crimes.
2,000? OK. Pull half the men off the tip and keep going with the list.
Oh, Jim, I've just had the producer of Crisis Point on the phone asking for a spokesman. Apparently they're doing a special programme on women and crime this Wednesday.
That's fine.
I reckon it's just the thing to stimulate more publicity on the mechanic. I hear Michael here's a dab hand on the podium. We'll send him in. Or I've paid it with the press office.
Evening time.
Hello? Hello, it's me. Listen, I've got to see you.
Evening all. Nimini, pimini, nimini, pimini, nimini, pimini.
Give us a bit of a level, Alistair.
Yep. Even as we speak tonight, women walk in fear on the streets of Britain.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Alison?
Tonight we present a Crisis Point special. For the first time, we dedicate the entire programme to
fine,
one.
OK.
Hang on. Martine, you there?
Yes, Alison?
What's this? I've got me doing the interview on the script.
No, Alistair, and you link.
Since when?
We changed it. Printout's on its way. 30 seconds to transmission.
But why?
It's a better shape to the programme.
Yes, but it's my baby.
Stand by ENG1.
And it's my script. OK.
Sorry, but you can have your tiff later.
Yep.
It was you, wasn't it? You shit.
Flattery will get you nowhere.
Settle down, kiddies.
5,
It's magic
4,
time.
3, 2, 1.
Music.
And for God's sake, smile, Alison.
Thank you, Alison.
Good evening, and welcome to another edition of Crisis Point. Tonight, we present a Crisis Point special. For the first time, we dedicate the entire programme to one subject. How can we make our streets safe for women? Later on, we will be discussing the problem with a panel of specially invited guests, including Agnes Davison of Newton Kirk Victim Support and Detective Sergeant Michael
Okay,
Jordan
on in
of
about 5
the
minutes.
Investigating
Oh,
Team.
fine, dear. Any
Agnes
questions?
Yeah. Can I take my notes on with me?
I'm sure you don't need your notes.
Okay, level.
Sorry?
Level. No, say something for the mic. Just say your name and address.
All right. Mike,
That's fine.
4 minutes, all right?
Could you tell me where the toilet is?
We'll be speaking to both of them later on tonight, but first of all, we'd like to highlight the specific case of the so-called mechanic series of assaults which have taken place in Newton Creek and which culminated in the tragic death of Julie Smith last week. Over now to a disturbing report on the case from Alistair Hall.
1.
It was here in this car park just 7 days ago that Julie Smith...
Out queue, streets again without fear.
Her assailant
Minute left
who has
on
not yet
ENG.
been found, disabled her car, put the nearest phone out of action, and followed her up this road. Her body was discovered the next day at the Somerston landfill site. She had been brutally murdered with a shotgun.
Popping out.
There's the park. You can see the boating pond.
Shh. And I'm going to be really scared coming home every night.
Hi, Sergeant. Alistair Hogg. I'll be interviewing you, OK? I know Martine's briefed you, but is there anything you'd particularly like to cover?
Are we not on?
Well, I hope not. No, there's a video I did earlier on going out at the moment.
20 seconds to hand over. Out queue without fear.
I just want to get as much cooperation from the public as possible.
Oh, don't worry then. OK, Agnes.
Oh, fine.
10 seconds.
Man Alavadazar.
Sorry?
Stand by, Alistair.
Many of the emotions
Ready
many
to?
women feel when forced to use public transport.
Two, would you put your bloody cans on?
We ask the simple question, when will women be able to walk our streets again without fear?
And cue Alistair and cut.
We filmed that report earlier this evening. I have with me now Detective Sergeant Michael Jardine, one of the team searching for the killer. Sergeant, how's the hunt going?
Oh, we're presently following several lines of inquiry.
So, all in all, you're happy with the way things are going?
Let's say we're quietly confident that we'll get a result.
Councillor Davis.
Well, we hope very much, in the light of all this publicity about the perpetrators of crime, that the
2 minutes
victims
to
and their
off-air.
families are...
Short and sweet, Alistair.
Thank you, Councillor. And now, on a final note, let me repeat the telephone number the Sergeant
Excuse me,
gave.
Alistair, do you mind if I ask the Sergeant a final
I
question?
don't actually think
it's
we
a
have
very
very
short
much time.
question. I was
No,
just
no,
wondering
it's
why, with all
Alistair.
this talk of unmarried
Follow the
skaters,
script, Alistair.
self-defense, street lighting and the like, why no one ever touches on the real problem?
And what would that be?
I should have thought it was obvious. Men. It's men that are the problem. Violent, abusive, harassing men.
Unfortunately, that's out with my jurisdiction.
Unfortunately. Does that mean you would do something about it if you could?
Well,
Cut a mic. Cut in,
How many
Alistair.
senior
Hang on, not
female
yet.
officers do you
We'll
have on
overrun.
this case?
Not yet.
You see, that's exactly my point. It's not just the case that the police have difficulties with the problem of violence against women. You're part of the problem yourself, aren't you?
I can't accept that.
Well, even if you do catch this man, lock him up forever. The problem is going to arise again and again and will do until men change their attitudes and their behavior towards women. Isn't that the case?
Oh, well, I'm going to have to reserve judgment on that one.
Well, while the police reserve judgment, the women of Glasgow walk in fear. Alistair.
Yes, well. Say something, Alistair. Cue us out. Next week.
Single on Alison.
On a final note, then, are our streets safe? Is there an easy solution to the upsurge of crimes of violence against women? Or should we be asking far more fundamental questions about male behavior than we are at the present?
No time for
Any
credits.
comments to make
Stand
on
by
this
end
or
caption.
Any other issue which you think we should be taking up?
15
Phone
seconds.
us at the following numbers: 041 242 9701,
10,
041 242 9702.
6.
This is Alison
5,
Bain wishing you a very
4,
good night from Crisis Point.
3,
We'll see you
2,
next week.
1.
Good night.
Pick it.
Yep.
Well, I'm off to get drunk. I must consider taking up directing sometime.
You haven't heard the last of this, you little cow.
I wouldn't have had to do anything if you hadn't been wittering on. Good God, man, you're supposed to be a journalist, not a fishwife.
Journalist. A 6-month course at City University. She thinks she's Jeremy bloody Paxman. You made me look a complete arse.
Don't need much help.
Can I go now?
Hello, Morris.
You never compromise a co-presenter by deviating from the script.
But I asked the right question, didn't I?
No, you asked the wrong question at the wrong time. You screwed up the end of the show and made Alistair look a fool. You were unprofessional.
So it was professional to treat the policeman with kid gloves. Well, was it? You let him off scot-free.
It isn't the police who are on trial, you know.
Then who is? I haven't noticed any great leaps forward in the hunt for the mechanic.
No one was on trial. We're a current affairs programme, for God's sake.
Are we? It's more like a WRI knitting circle till I waded in.
Your arrogance is truly breathtaking.
If I'm arrogant, it's because I think we should be a cut above these Aren't Our Police wonderful reconstruction flicks. We could be breaking new ground here, we really could.
So now you want to be producer as well?
I want to do good work.
Are you insinuating we don't? Well, are you? Ah, I'm off. I'll be back when she decides she has enough humility to apologise.
There's no need for this.
Alistair! Coffee, anyone?
Right, Walt. That's you.
What's going on?
We've got a wee problem with inflation.
But how? What happened?
There were 2 of these under the wheels.
But that is almost 1k's worth of tyres.
Oh, tell me about it.
Well, don't touch anything. There might be fingerprints.
You can forget fingerprints. I'll deal with this one myself.
I don't want any strong-arm stuff, Barry. Do you hear me?
Yes, Mum.
Just you remember where the money for your new wagon came from.
I'm hardly likely to forget it, am I?
Just here. That's where it was parked.
And what time was that?
Ah, it was about 9:15. No, tell a lie, 9:20. I just made a bovril. You have to leave it stand for a while so it doesn't burn your mouth. So I put it in the windowsill, then I turned and I looked out the window.
Why was that?
Cools down quicker.
No. Why did you look out the window?
Why? Well, because I saw the man and the car and the man and the woman fighting. Arguing. Howling. Terrible it was.
What exactly did you see?
Well, I couldn't really make out that much. Just the pair of them arguing.
Do you know what kind of car it was?
Aye. A white one.
Is that all?
No, it was a big white one. Well, lightish.
And you don't know the make?
No, Chief. I don't know nothing about cars.
Was it a hatchback or an estate?
Eh?
So you couldn't see their faces, and you can't identify them, but it was a big, lightish car.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Bryce. Give the sergeant a full statement.
You be wanting the number?
Number?
Aye. The registration number. I wrote that down.
Morris name?
Mr. Morris Newman, are you the keeper of a white BMW registration number H231TGB?
That's right. You mind telling us where you were last Wednesday night?
I couldn't say.
Between the hours of 9 and 11?
I really can't recall.
Were you in charge of the vehicle that evening?
Well, no one else drives it.
And what about the night of the 14th of March?
I've no idea.
The 3rd, 11th, 28th of April?
Oh, this is ridiculous. There's no way I can remember.
Well, Mr. Newman, if you'd like to accompany us to the station, there's a few more questions we'd like to ask you.
Well, what about the shop? I mean, I can't leave the shop.
What's going on here?
Dad, could you hold the fort till I get back? There's nothing to worry about.
How long will you be?
We'll keep you informed, Mr. Newman.
Well?
Well, what?
Has she apologized?
Oh, stop pouting, Alistair. I've just had a call from Eden McCarg.
What, the old boy that listens into the police radio?
The same. He reckons they've lifted someone for the Julie Smith murder.
Are you married, Mr. Newman?
Divorced.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, about 4 years ago.
Any children?
A boy.
I've got a girl, well, I see she's a girl. She's a grown woman now.
Well, my lad's about 13.
Difficult age.
Yes. Well, he's a good boy, you know.
Have you had the trouble long?
Trouble? I'm not sure I've...
Well, you see, I thought you had some memory trouble. My sergeant informed me you can't recall where you were last Wednesday.
I went for a drive.
Did you drive around Newton Kirk Station?
No, I don't believe I did, no.
Newton Glen Park? Subject indicates no. I believe it was a bit nippy last Wednesday.
I don't recall.
It's just that... See, my wife went out that night and she said it was a bit parky. Overcoat weather, she called it. Listen, have you seen that buckle before?
No. No, I haven't.
What were you wearing on your drive?
A car code. I was wearing a car coat.
You're a liar. And I'm going to prove it.
Take a couple of wides. I'll see if I can doorstep someone, yeah? Hang on. You recording? Follow me in. Excuse me, I'm looking for Newman's the Jewelers. Could you help me at all?
What do you want?
Alistair Hogg, Crisis Point. I understand the owner of the shop is helping the police with their inquiries. Do you happen to know Mr. Newman yourself?
He's my son, but we have nothing to say to television. Come, David.
Please, Mr. Newman.
Go away.
All I want...
Please leave us alone.
It really would be
Go
better if
away.
Hang on, it's a bad line. Who? Just a minute, I'll put you through.
Yes?
I saw you on the telly last night. I thought you were brilliant.
Well, thanks very much. Who am I speaking to here?
I've got something for you. A story.
What kind of story?
Well, I can't give you the details just now. It's dynamite. But I've got to watch myself. Can I trust you?
Well, yeah, sure. What is it?
Can I see you somewhere later? Somewhere private?
Is it the mechanic? Do you know who it is?
I've got to go. Look, I'll contact you later.
That's Jamie O'Hare. Did he no tender for the Clements contract?
O'Hare? O'Hare? It was him that done our tyres in. Right.
Marjorie said we weren't to do anything stupid.
Aye, well, she can rely on you, Eddie, son.
Where you going?
I'm gonna cut O'Hare's hands off.
Barry! I know where he stays! Barry!
Sheila, if a message comes through for me, would you let me know straight away?
Sure thing.
Thanks.
I hear the neighbours are getting a good look over the fence. Your mother's there, and your son too. Apparently the boy's quite upset. And Julie Smith's mother is upset too. Now, you can save us and them a whole lot of aggravation if you would just tell the truth.
We cracked it, sir. Found the remains of a coat he'd burnt in his back garden. An exact match in the buckle.
That's great, Michael.
Now, let's not get carried away. That only places him in the park. We've got to tie him in with Julie Smith's body. Anything else and we get laughed out of court.
Morris, I've got the belt, the alumina, and the car. Now, why don't you come clean with me? Oh, get him out of here.
Jackie, that guy for Julie Smith's work left a message for you.
Okay. Oh, no. Apparently, Julie crushed some solid alumina for analysis. Came from some old power station. Stocker only made the connection when he checked her worksheets. Oh, he's very apologetic.
Apologetic? He's lucky I don't lock him up. That's from Julie Smith's boss, sir. The alumina under her fingernails did come from her work.
So, all we're left with is a buckle.
Afraid so.
It's not enough, Jim. It's not enough.
Calm down, quick!
Right, sit up now. Well, you're a very lucky man, Mr. Newman. You've got a bruised neck and very little else. Now, are you sure you don't want me to give you something to calm you down?
What? No, I'm fine. I feel very calm. I just want to explain everything.
Yes, well, I'd rather you unburdened yourself to the police, if you don't mind. I'm sure they're waiting with bated breath. You'll excuse me.
How is he?
Well, for a man who's just tried to kill himself, he's remarkably self-possessed. Level-headed, one might say. Yes.
Is he fit enough to be interviewed?
More than that, he says he wants to tell you everything. I'll see you later.
Yes, I'll see you later, Doctor. It's a private consultation, sir.
You were seen arguing with a woman. Was it Julie Smith?
No. No, it wasn't.
If I'm to believe you, you have to tell us who it was. I mean, was it a lover's tiff? Is she married?
No. No, not married. No, you see, I wasn't arguing with a woman at all. I was arguing with a man. A young man. Oh, Christ, what a mess. What a bloody mess.
Look, if what you're going to tell me convinces us that you've nothing to do with this thing, it won't get beyond these four walls, and I'll give you my word on that.
His name's Brenton. Peter Brenton. He's got long hair, you know, ponytail, you know, hence the woman thing, I suppose. We've been seeing each other for about 6 months.
Why were you arguing?
Well, I decided to finish it. And we had a fight, quite a loud, violent fight. And the last thing I saw of him, he was walking towards the station. I never saw the girl or anybody else.
Why did you burn the coat?
Because we'd been there by the park where the girl had been abducted. And I knew I'd lost the buckle there, and I panicked. I just wanted to destroy any links with the place.
We're going to have to check this out. You understand that, don't you?
Yes. Yes, I do.
What is this place?
Students use it to fix their 2 CVs. Excuse me. We're looking for a Peter Brenton. Have you seen him?
Who wants to know? Please. We were told he'd be here.
I haven't seen him in ages.
Any idea where he might be?
Could be anywhere.
Listen, if you see him, you tell him we want to speak to him.
Sure thing.
I'm going back in.
Oh!
All we wanted was a quiet chat. You seem to have other ideas. So let's get this straight. You can confirm that Maurice Newman was with you that night.
Yes. Look, I told you all this.
Do you know what this is?
It's a rotor arm. Look, I haven't done anything.
Innocent people don't run.
I didn't know you were the police.
Who did you think we were? The hit squad?
If you want the truth, I thought you were the sheriff's officers. I owe money on the poll tax. My student loan, the bank. Well, perm anyone from 3. Half the whole of residence has been getting warrants.
And that's why you ran.
Yes, miss. Mum.
You've nothing else to tell us?
That's it.
Any comments?
Bollocks. Lock him up.
Lock me up?
Police assault. Withholding evidence. Conspiracy to mislead the police. That's worth a few months in a barrel.
I've got classes, my thesis.
My heart bleeds. Do it.
No, wait.
What?
It was the train.
What about the train?
I was on the train. And I saw the woman at the station. I think I was one of the last people to see her alive.
Hey, what do you mean, rolled it over? Burgled it? No, I rolled it over. Well, the digger. Come again? I got a big bucket and I rolled it over. I thought you'd be pleased. I told you I would deal with it, you bampot. He's no hurt, is he? You were going to cut his hands off.
It's a figure of speech, Eddie. Is he hurt? He wasn't there. You sure?
I chapped his door.
You chapped his door? Did anybody see you?
No, I done it quite clandestine.
Clandestine? You drove a digger onto an open site and rolled over a caravan in broad daylight, you stupid!
Hey! What's up with you two?
On nothing. Nothing. Just a fraternal discussion.
Is there something going on here?
No. Eddie's just done a spot of freelance house moving.
Don't walk away from me, Barry. Now, I'm a partner here, and if there's something going on, I want to know about it.
There's nothing to worry about, believe you me. Everything's under control.
Oh, it had better be. Because if it isn't, this might just be your last chance.
You could always tip it back over again, Barry.
She looked a bit worried, so I held back. So she wouldn't think I was going to bother. I always feel dead guilty if I walk too close to a woman on the pavement late at night. I crossed over the road, and then I met up with Morris. That was that.
And you saw no one else?
No one, Mr. Taggart. When I found out what had happened to her, I haven't been able to sleep since. Well, that's all I know, honest.
Here.
Hello?
That's your call, Alistair.
Hello? Do you speak English?
So you lost the caravan? Hi.
What? Oh, subsidence. Look, can I leave my gear here for a while?
Aye, of course you can. Look, what are you doing with that video?
Just something I've got to copy now. Don't touch it. You keep this safe. Put it away somewhere, okay?
All right. I'll just put the kettle on there.
I'm sorry, Daddy, I've no time. I'll see you later.
All right. Hey, listen, boy, listen. Come here. Want to make a bed up for you?
Yeah, okay. Great. Now, you don't worry. Cheerio.
Aye. Hey, bye.
Alison, there's a message for you.
You came? Yeah, great.
Fancy a snack? We're sending out for some smoked salmon.
No time. You eat it, my darling. Message for you.
Oh.
I think you need to apply a bit of forensic psychology.
In what sense?
Have you ever heard of psychological profiling?
Vaguely.
I read a paper in Modern Psychology magazine the other week. Oh, cheers, mate. There's this bloke from the university does a psychological profile of the suspect on the basis of the crime. Oh, I've forgotten his name.
Eric Cunningham.
That's your man, Professor Eric E. Cunningham. He solved a serial rape case in Edinburgh recently.
Yeah, I've heard of him. He's got a list of questions or something?
That's right. You cross-match the answers of the questions to that of all your suspects. He picked the guilty man out of a list of over 2,000. I don't know. It's worth a try.
Oh, no, it is. I wouldn't fancy trying to persuade Taggart that it would work, though. Cheers.
We've hit a bit of an impasse. Nothing in the latest note. All the feedback from the telly programme followed up.
We've sifted through 20 tons of rubbish, so there's still nothing. Now, this guy, Cunningham...
You can contact a faith healer for all I care. Take a look at that.
What is it?
A shooting in Cambus Line last night.
Oh, yeah, the guy's in hospital.
Aye.
Just a falling out amongst Neds, isn't it?
Look who was the first person on the scene.
Alison Bay.
Look at the victim's occupation.
Waste disposal contractor, so what? I'm sorry, Jim, but you've lost me there. Surely Julie Smith's death had nothing to do with her job. The other victims had all sorts of jobs.
But Smith was the first death by shotgun. And then somebody tries to murder this Jamie Hare last night, and who's with him?
Our television ally in the fight against crime, Alison Payne. What the hell was she doing there?
Well, the night boys took a statement, but it's not very revealing. I'm going to interview her now.
And this O'Hare?
Pretty bad, apparently. I've sent Jackie up to the hospital.
Get a full report on this shooting. I want it treated as part of the murder inquiry. It might be something.
Aye, it may be nothing.
I was supposed to meet him in the factory. I wandered round a bit, then I heard a shot and I ran over. The man was lying there. It was awful.
And he didn't say anything?
No. No, he couldn't speak. He was just lying, sort of gurgling and trembling. Not like the movies.
It seldom is. So, you get a phone call from a man you don't know and you go to meet him alone.
I was on a story. He said he had something for me. Dynamite. That's what he said.
Did he have anything with him?
No, he didn't.
It could have been you lying there. You know that, don't you?
I didn't consider it risky.
Risky. It was absolutely stupid.
I realise that now.
Well, maybe if you'd heeded our advice, instead of patronising my officers, you might be better off.
How is the man?
He's on a ventilator, sir. Yeah, he took the full force of the blast in his chest. Yet he still hasn't regained consciousness.
Now, you stay there for the moment, Jackie. And it's vital you tell me the minute that anything happens. If he saw who shot him, then we're in business. Okay? Right, bye. I believe you took the message.
Yes. Yes, I did.
Let's go back in and have a talk.
Bye.
Excuse me, sir. I'll need to talk to everybody.
I don't know anything.
Well, I'll be the judge of that.
I get about 150 calls a day. I didn't log the call because I gave the message straight to Alison.
What did he say?
Alison was to meet him at the factory. That's all I know.
And you didn't recognize his voice?
No. No. It was a bad line. I could hardly hear what he said.
Okay, you can go now. But if you remember anything, let me know. Send the next one in. Ah, Mr. Hogg. Sit down. Won't keep you a minute.
Enjoying the studio?
Nothing. The most unobservant bunch of journalists I've ever met in my life. What you got for me here?
Well, Alison Bain parked her car and then went nosing around.
Lured down here on some pretext.
Just like Julie Smith.
Was the car tampered with?
No, she drove up to the main street and called an ambulance.
Whose motor's that? O'Hare's?
Yes, sir. We reckon he followed her down here. Hasn't been touched. Look at this. Hasn't been fired in ages. I'll have it checked out.
These are not nice people, Michael. How's the victim?
Well, he's still unconscious, sir. I can get nothing from the family. I don't think they have a very high opinion of the police. I've left a PC there. They said they'll get in touch as soon as anything happens.
I hope so. He's our only live witness. Where did it happen?
Exactly where you're standing, sir. The assailant was standing on the outside fire escape and shot through a hole in the door, not realising it was a hare instead of Alison standing there.
I'd say you got it in one, Michael.
Sir?
What?
No, it's nothing. I've got his home address.
Well, someone had it in for him. The wind didn't blow it over.
Do we need a search warrant?
Nah, no way. We'll get on the radio. I want it going over inch by inch.
Alistair, you all right?
Aye. Well, what's the problem?
Well, I need some help.
Well, you've come with the right man.
And you've no idea what it was about?
He must have had information on the mechanic. He watched the show the other night. What gives me the creeps is that he was the only one that knew I was going down there.
Yes. Yes, he was.
You're being served.
Oh, what do you want?
Bit of peace. Oh, no, these are on me. 2 gin and tonics, please. Who's that man with Alistair?
I don't know.
What the hell is he up to?
I haven't a clue.
Found a Hare's books, sir, such as they were. It was a one-man waste disposal operation. His lorry was repossessed last week.
No lorry, no business.
Correct. He was in the skids.
No sign of any fraud?
Well, it seems he was just an honest John caught up in debt. The repayments in his lorry were astronomical.
Why was he following Alison Bain?
He could have had information in the Julie Smith murder.
There was nothing there. There was nothing on him.
Let's hope he lives long enough to tell us what it was.
And there's no way she could have met a waste disposal contractor in the course of her work.
I don't suppose so. We'd only know about him if he submitted one of his consignment notes.
What are they?
When waste is taken from A to B, the firm that produced it sends us one of these. A consignment note. Tells us what it is and where it's going. Now, that way we can check if it's in the right place and the right material.
And what if they don't give you the note?
Then there's no way we know anything about it. Unless, of course, it turned up somewhere it shouldn't. Look at this map, Mr. Taggart. We're here, and the nearest treatment plant for, say, high-level toxic waste is in Ellesmere Port. Takes a lot of diesel to drive all the way down there and back, so the cowboys just dump it up here and pocket the cash. Meanwhile, the rest of us get poisoned. The problem is keeping the stuff out of the water supply.
And what was Julie's role in all this?
She tested samples to determine exactly what they were.
I want every piece of paper you produced in the last 6 months. Jackie, go over it all. See if O'Hare's name crops up.
But surely she wasn't killed because she worked here. I thought it was that lunatic who wrote those notes.
I see you're left-handed.
Yes. Sinister. Plays havoc with my golf. I'm sorry, I don't quite understand.
Just get us those files. Constable Reed will be along to collect them.
Yes. Yes, I will.
O'Hare left Belfast in 1973 with his father, sir.
I don't blame them.
His mother was killed in a bomb blast at a bus station. I don't know if this means anything, but both his brother and a cousin were interned at the time. Membership of the IRA.
What about Jamie?
Clean as far as we know. He was only 11 at the time.
Get on the special branch. See if his file is active.
More fan mail for you, mate.
Wouldn't mind, but there never any money in them.
Deceit, can I help you?
This one's perfumed.
Sir, that was the hospital on the phone. Jamie O'Hare died 15 minutes ago without regaining consciousness.
Sir, another one.
Now he's telling us when he's going to do it next. We've got 2 days.
This latest escapade, she's made us all look like fools. TV, girdling, shotgun, shock.
I'm well aware of the side effects.
We're meant to be reporting the news, not making it. She's flaky, Martine. She's flaky, and we're all suffering.
Morning, Sheila.
Hi there.
It's good for ratings. We've never had so much interest.
All right. I just think you should give her a week or two off to rest. Calm down a bit.
Then what?
Oh, then our position's reassessed.
And what if I don't?
Your contract with KGTV's up for renewal next month, yeah?
So?
You're re-tendering. Need a bit of staff stability, don't you?
You never really got over her making it from researcher up to presenter, did you?
Oh, let's not reduce it to that level, please.
Bit too close to home, eh?
Oh, just do as I ask.
Or you'll be looking for a new anchorman for your program. That's the truth, plain and simple.
Alistair, the truth is rarely plain and never simple.
Oh, spare me the aphorisms, please.
Then spare me the threats. If I were you, I'd think long and hard before you asked me to choose between you and her. Do you understand what I'm saying? Alison, could you come in for a chat?
Hello? Yeah? Oh, great. That's it confirmed, then. Ah, no doubt about it. Bye. Yes!
What's this?
Every piece of paper we could trace in the Environmental Health Department. For the attention of DC Reed.
I don't believe this.
Right. I want all of them gone through. And I mean all of them. See if there's any mention of this guy O'Hare. And after that, I want that cross-referenced with all previous victims. We've got 36 hours before this fella strikes again. And I don't want to be making any more visits to the mortuary.
Yes?
Oh, hello. I was wondering if I could have a word with Mr. O'Hare.
Oh, he's a bit upset. I don't know
Who
that...
is it for? Is it the police?
I've nothing to do with the police.
He really doesn't want to speak to anyone.
Mr. O'Hare, I was with your son the night he was shot.
I've got nothing to say to you.
Mr. O'Hare, please. I need to understand what all this is about, too.
And you're sure you've nothing to do with the police?
I promise you.
O'Hare. Jamie O'Hare.
What about him?
You and Eddie were arguing about him, weren't you?
What have we, what?
He's dead, Barry. He's dead. It was on the radio.
It's nothing to do with me.
Or Eddie?
You leave Eddie to me.
Mr. O'Hare, about Jamie.
Alison, now listen, I'm not a great one for overstating, but Jamie was a fine lad. One of the best. I know that because I had two wrong ones. Oh, two right rogues they were, but do you see our Jamie? There wasn't one bad fibre in that lad's body. Too good, we used to say. Aye. Too good for this vale of tears, anyway.
And you've no idea what he wanted to see me about? You never heard him mention the mechanic?
That's them arrived.
What? Oh, Alison, do you have a motor car?
Declan Anthony O'Hare.
The cousin who was interned?
The same. Special branch latched onto him at the airport.
Ah, probably just over for the funeral.
That's what I thought. But he was picked up in a car. They traced the number, Alison Bain.
Hello, Miss Bain. You seem to have a habit of turning up in the most unexpected places.
Same could be said of you, Inspector. Bit of overkill, isn't it?
That's a rather unfortunate choice of words. Declan here.
What do you lot want?
That's just like home.
I trust you have no other plans except to go to the funeral, Mr. O'Hare.
Thought I might take in a couple of shows. You know.
When are you going home?
When I've lain my cousin in the earth.
Good. That's good. Because I don't want any freelance activity on my patch. Anything you know, you tell me. You understand?
I've always enjoyed a constructive relationship with the police. Now, if you don't mind, I have arrangements to make. After you, Ellison.
You think they know anything?
I doubt that. Okay, facts. 5 assaults on women. He disables their cars, and then he attacks them. Indecent assault, rape, and then he threatens them with a shotgun. Each crime becoming more violent than the one before. 5 confessions. Then he makes a mistake. He sets up a woman, and he kills a man instead.
No.
What?
I'm sorry, sir, I just can't keep it in any longer. I think you're wrong.
About what?
About him setting up a woman. I think O'Hare was the intended victim.
Well, if he was, we can discount the mechanic.
Why?
Oh, come on, Jackie. You're saying this guy rapes 5 women in a row, then he decides to turn in a man. He's a bisexual now.
Julie Smith wasn't raped.
But that's what he wanted. He only killed her because she struggled. He uses the shotgun to...
What's in your mind, Jackie?
Well, it's just that... Look at this room. Look at you. All you men hunting a sex beast. You read the papers and you believe it. You're making the classic mistake. You're equating rape with sex.
So what's rape about if not sex?
Depends how good you are at it.
I don't think this was ever about sex. Don't you see? The sex is incidental.
Not to me, it isn't it?
Shut it, Anderson.
The sex is incidental because rape, just like any other sexual crime, is about power. Pure and simple power. The ability to dominate those weaker than yourself. And I think that's the important thing with our murderer. He's an inadequate wee man who wants to have power. The power to control, the power to exploit, and the power to kill.
I'm looking for a Chief Inspector Taggart. Any takers? Nope. Well, I'll try next door then, will I?
What are you actually doing?
Well, the idea is not to deduce anything from a single clue, but to look for a system of patterns that will lead the way to more fruitful areas of investigation, so to speak. It's actually quite exciting.
What's all this?
What I'm doing is I'm taking all your information and I'm putting it on this disc. You know, past crimes, proximity to a notional epicenter. That's what it's doing just now. And from that, I'll get a fair idea, not just of what kind of person he is, but where he lives, what his job is, maybe, and so on. And then I'll cross-match that with your list of suspects.
2,033 of them.
Right. Well, I should be able to pop up a name or two for you then. But I'll tell you this, the chances are that you'll get more and more audacious. Almost as if he wants to be caught, like a moth to a flame. He's out of control. He's goading you.
So how long before you can give us a name?
2 or 3 days, maybe.
I've got 15 hours.
Well, I could provide you with a psychological profile tomorrow. I'll need to use the mainframe at the university.
We'll get you a car.
You can't be serious. They'll be more like bait than decoys. You'll be risking their lives.
Don't you think I know that, Jean? But he says he's going to kill again tomorrow. What am I supposed to do?
What do you normally do?
Well, the book says flood the place with uniforms, but this isn't normal.
But it might frighten him off. Stop him doing it.
And then what? We sit around and wait for him to kill another innocent person.
An innocent person could get killed if you set them up.
I know that. But I've got no choice.
Now, we've managed to get a complete news blackout on this, and I mean to keep it that way. The priority is to catch this man, but without injury or loss of life. I don't want any dead heroes. Understood? Yes.
What's the score with this psychologist bloke, sir? Has he come up with anything?
Well, according to Professor Cunningham, our man lives in this area. He may have been married, but his life has hit a turbulent patch. He has no close friends, and he works in a semi-skilled occupation.
What team does he support?
We know he's a left footer from forensic. Don't have any names yet. Unfortunately, time is not on our side. Michael?
OK, you've been split up into 12 teams, all placed by these markers here. We reckon if this guy keeps to the same pattern, these are the danger car part signs. Now, it's 1 decoy, 3 backup, all in instant contact with the centre here. The call sign for subject sighted is fire guard. Repeat, fire guard.
So you know where you're going. Good luck.
Do you realize that this division doesn't have a single uniformed officer on the street?
Whenever you want to find a policeman, you can't get one. Tango 1, are you receiving me? Over.
Tango 1, nothing to report, sir.
Have your tickets ready, please. Thank you. Thank you. Tickets, please. Thank you. I hope you've got a ticket this time.
I've got one, thank you.
Only, it was up to me, you know.
It's okay.
The shoe and plain clothes.
Yeah, you could say that.
See, you let that guy go.
Thanks for your help, anyway.
No further forward.
No, not really.
Right, right. Enough said. Tickets, please.
Hello, dear. It's me. I'm just ringing to say I might be a bit late tonight. I thought I'd go for a drink. Okay, bye.
Tango 2. Nothing to report, sir.
Tango 5. Quiet as a grave, sir. Over. Okay, Michael. Stick at it. Over.
Well?
Nothing, sir. Nothing yet.
He's never struck after 10, has he?
Give it another half hour. You never know.
I'm sorry, Jim. We'll have to call it off. Overtime's ruining the budget.
Aye. I thought you might say that. That's why I let you snooze. All units, Operation Car Park is now over. Repeat, Operation Car Park is now over. Come on home.
you want a lift?
That car's in the car park. I'm going to walk.
Oh, tempting fate.
I'm too ugly.
Oh, that's a sexist comment.
Mary Hill Police. Can I help you?
Could I speak to Mr. Taggart, please?
I'm sorry, sir. I'm afraid he's away home. Who's this calling?
It's Eric Cunningham from the university. It's imperative that I speak to somebody in the mechanic investigation. I have a name for them. I think I know who it is.
Start driving. Don't move a muscle.
Your place or mine?
Oh, Colin, you bastard. You utter bastard.
I'm sorry. It's real champagne.
Thank God I found you. I've got a name.
Why won't this start?
Down!
Don't just sit there, help me!
Russell Bryce. 2 convictions for indecent assault 8 years ago. Lives in Newton Kirk, Lowen. Separated, no kids, a loner.
Had we interviewed him?
Aye. 2 weeks into the inquiry. His wife gave him an alibi. She's changed her tune now, though.
So, Cunningham got him down to a T?
Started off just wanting to talk to them, then to kiss them. Then they wouldn't. They would never do what I was asking them.
When was this, Russell?
Started about 6 months ago,
As long ago as that?
when I decided to stop being polite,
Polite?
to stop asking them nicely. Decided to make them use the gun, make them do what I wanted. They'll only take a telling, will they? He knows what I'm talking about. The first ones, they'd done what they were told, but the woman at the station, she wouldn't. She tried to fight me off. She grabbed hold of the gun. Went off. I never meant to shoot her.
How did you choose your victims?
Victims? Is that what you call them? I'm the victim, me. And every other poor sod that has to put up with the bitches.
All right. All right. Calm down now. Take a sip of tea. So, how did you decide who to ask?
It was the letters.
The letters you sent us?
No, them. It was their cars. I just watched them park their cars. Nice wee cars, fast cars. With rounded bumpers and plump wee headlamps. With letters on the back. They buy their cars because of the letters on the back. Arseholes. That's how I chose them. Underneath the spoiler. Spoiler. XR2. GTI. The more letters, the more they needed a lesson. Spoilers.
So, now what about the man, Jamie O'Hare?
A man? A man? What do you think I am? Some kind of weirdo?
Hi.
Freesies.
Thanks, Colin.
So how have they been treating you?
Fine. The Gideon's Bible has been a great support.
Right. Listen, I was thinking that you might not want to go back to your own flat. So, well, there's a spare room at mine. I mean, no obligation, of course, but...
Oh, thanks very much, Colin, but I think I'd like a bit more space. Jean's offered to put me up.
Hello, Colin.
Mrs. Taggart? Oh, I see. Right, well, I'll leave the flowers. Do you need a lift?
Oh, I arranged a police car.
Contacts, eh?
Yeah? Well?
Bryce was telling the truth about Jamie O'Hare, sir. We went through his shift records. He was on the other side of the city at the time. You couldn't have murdered him.
Then who did? Have a drink.
Sir.
Take a drink.
I've been thinking about O'Hare's caravan. Still don't know who turned it over.
Well, somebody had a downer in him, all right. I think he was murdered by mistake.
How do you mean?
I think Alison Bain was the target that night. Somebody wanted her down there to rub her out. O'Hare just get in the way. It's the only thing that fits.
Alison Bain?
Uh-huh.
That means she's still at risk.
It's landed in the bin.
What's this?
Porn?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Alice? But why would anyone want to kill her?
That's what we're trying to find out.
And you can't find her?
Not a trace. I'm going to need a list of all the people who came in contact with her over the last 2 weeks. Anything she was working on.
Oh, my God. You'd better come into my office.
Rachel, for goodness sake, get down from there. Where's the boy? He's supposed to be helping with the decorations.
He went upstairs.
You tell him I want it finished before I come back. Don't let him off.
Porn? This is crap.
Maybe it's spies.
Got Robocop too.
I've seen it.
What are the pair of you up to?
Where did the boys find it?
In a park waste bin at Newton Kirk.
What do these dates and times mean?
Well, as far as I can make out, they relate to some sort of transport schedule.
The point is, it's Jamie O'Hare's folder. Names, addresses. What the hell's it doing in the bin?
Well, he must have had it on him when he was shot.
So the killer takes it and dumps it. Was there any attempt to destroy it?
It was all intact, just lying there.
Rewind that tape. Right, stop it there.
Richard's Haulage. They're a waste disposal contractors.
Any idea where that place is?
Not a clue. But I know somebody that might.
It's a children's playground. We need some more infill here to level it off. It must have been, let me see, about here he was dumping. Oh, no. This is beyond belief. What's up? The fools. The bloody fools. What is it? I'll have to check back at the lab, of course, but I'm pretty certain that this is chrysidolite.
Chrysidolite?
Blue asbestos, the most dangerous type of the lot. The bloody fools have been dumping blue asbestos on a children's playground.
That's what he was going to show Alison Bain. Proof that these cowboys were dumping waste here.
What name did you say again?
Barry, I just heard in the news. They're looking for whoever wrecked O'Hare's caravan.
Aye, well, they haven't far to look then, have they?
Well, they might think we killed him too.
You ever thought of joining Mensa? I told you to leave him alone.
But Barry, I'm scared.
Look, if you just keep your trap shut, you'll be okay.
What the hell are you up to?
Bonus payments.
How far? Does Marjorie know you're taking that? You're meant to get a chitty.
Marjorie and I have sort of dissolved our partnership.
Wait a minute. Where the hell does that leave me? Barry! Barry! Oh, get her!
Right. Which one of you two bastards killed Jamie?
Oh, please, mister. It wasn't me, honest. It wasn't me.
Oh, just hold on.
I seen the video. And as far as I recall, this is a family firm.
Please, mister. Please don't. Oh, my, no.
Well, I've got money. Take it. I will. Armed police officer. Drop it. Drop it! Lie on the floor, face down. No! Spread your legs. Spread them! You two down as well! Now you're going to take your hands and you're going to put them very slowly behind your back. Slowly!
Well done, Michael.
Aye, it's amazing what you can do with a length of pipe.
All right. All right. I did put 1 hour in the hair. He had the Clements contract. Well, I found out how much he bid and undercut him.
By dumping asbestos in the kids' playground.
Well, I was going to get covered up. Where's the herm?
Herm? The stuff's lethal.
All right, so I'm no angel. But that bastard spiked my new wagon's tires. Eddie. He done the guy's caravan out. Oh, I didn't even know he'd done it. He thought it would please me.
Do you know he made a video of you dumping that stuff?
No. No, didn't he?
We think he was going to expose you on TV and then he got shot.
Oh, listen, I admit. All right, I admit I was going to put O'Hare in jeopardy. But just to frighten us, like. I mean, there's no way I'd go to the length of shooters. I'm not that stupid.
And what about your brother?
Oh, aye. Well, he's that stupid, all right. But he didn't dare. I'd swear to it in the Bible.
You might have to.
You?
Just how long are you going to keep me here?
You're lucky you're not in Cotton Vale by now. You're here in protective custody.
Don't feel very protected.
It's a damn sight safer than the industrial estate where Jamie O'Hare ended up. Don't you realise? It was you that were after that night, not him. He died in your place.
I don't believe it. I just don't. We've been through everything I was working on. I've no enemies. Why would anyone want to kill me?
Well, let's start all over again and see if we can come up with any suggestions, eh?
I've been up all night. It's light outside. I'm leaving. And unless you want to charge me, there's not a thing you can do about it. Good morning.
Hey, you get the full story from the cousin?
Yeah, all ties up. They bought a Kalashnikov from a bloke in a pub, no name. Apparently the going rate's 600 quid. Anyway, he seems quite grateful that we stopped him. Family honour being preserved and he didn't have to top it anymore.
So he gets 4 years instead of life. Okay. You pack up and go home.
I'll hang on with you, sir.
You're joking. I'm off too.
I don't think so, sir. Alistair Hogg's been shot.
I left him at about 6:30. He stayed to do a bit of work, I think.
Did you ever quarrel with him?
Oh, what is this? I'm a director. He's a presenter. Of course I quarrel with him. He wasn't the easiest man in the world to get on with.
So he had enemies?
There's enemies and enemies. I certainly know of no reason that anyone would want to do that to him.
I understand that he was having an affair with Alison Bain.
You're barking up the wrong tree, Inspector. She's not capable of this.
I know that. She was in my custody at the time. Now, what about Martine?
I was in the pub with Martine all last night. Ask her!
I have asked her. You've given each other a watertight alibi.
I don't like the sound of that.
I don't like the smell of this. Oh, it's just one other thing. Martine told me she saw Alistair speaking with a stranger in the pub. A tall guy in a dark overcoat. Any idea who that might be?
No. No. None at all.
What on earth did the two of them have in common?
Alison Bain. She's like a spider in the middle of a web. Everywhere we go, she turns up. Isn't that right, Michael? Michael!
Sorry, sir.
You're excused. I'm just saying that this Bain woman is at the centre of everything. Isn't that right?
Yeah. I can't help feeling if we found out why someone would lure Alistair out like that before.
Alison.
What?
Lure Alison, not Alistair. You said Alistair.
Alistair. I need my bed.
Alistair?
What?
It was Alistair the murder wanted, not Alison.
If you're right, Jim, this turns everything upside down. If the killer wanted Alistair, maybe it was something he was working on.
It explains why the stuff that Jamie had on him was abandoned. If you think about it, the killer wasn't interested in clandestine dumping. It was something that Alistair had that he wanted.
Let's go and find out what he was working on.
Excuse me. I'm told you're involved in the Alistair Hogg murder investigation.
This was unusual. It was the afternoon that I took the message. Alistair called that number, and then he went rushing off.
Ludwigsburg, 61000.
Yeah.
Call that for me. Where's Ludwigsburg?
They used to call it West Germany, just outside Stuttgart.
I thought you were on sick leave.
I get sick of leaving. They're on the line.
Hello. Do you speak English, please?
Would you mind? I'll take it. Guten Morgen. Entschuldigung, ich bin fast verbunden. Ja, ja. Können Sie mir bitte sagen, wo ich angerufen habe? Bitte? Ach, ja, ja, ich verstehe. Vielen Dank. Auf Wiederhören.
So what is it? And who might you be?
My name's Tom Harrison. I'm a private investigator. I've been doing a bit of research for Alistair. I think I know who killed him.
And Mum turned to me and she said, "Look, Morris," she said, "your father is not the best cook in the world, but his matzo ball certainly put a smile on that seagull's face." Mum, Dad, here's to another 40 years of happiness. To Rachel and Albert.
Rachel and Albert. Thank you, Morris. And now, a surprise. I've got a very special present for you, Rachel. I've carried this stone for 40 years, waiting for this moment.
Hello, Mr. Newman. I wonder if you could help me. I found a piece of paper with your address on it.
For the last time, Miss Bain, will you get out of my way?
Good God, this is outrageous. It's my parents' wedding anniversary.
I'm sorry, Mr. Newman. It's not you I've come to talk to. It's your father.
What?
Ah, the police. I thought you'd be here. I must just say goodbye to my guests, then I'll be right with you. My friends, I'm afraid I'll have to leave the party a little prematurely. But don't let this stop the festivities. Some gentlemen wish to speak to me. Goodbye, my dear. I love you very much.
Albert, wo ist es geschehen?
Sie will mir noch wegen ein paar Fragen. Ich komm bald zurück.
Albert! Albert!
I was the jeweler, der Juwelier des Kommandantens, jeweler to the Nazis. I melted the gold taken from gold, and I cut up the jewels. They brought the jewels with them, you see. It was all they had. All that was left. I was a small cog in a big wheel. 3 years at Majdanek, I survived, and 600,000 didn't. Do you know what this does to a man to survive on the teeth and jewels of others? When the Russians came, I bought my way out of camp, the POW camp. I said I'd spent the war years in a cellar. And when I got to Britain, somehow the lie still persisted. I met my wife, and for 40 years I've been waiting for that knock on the door. Oh, the journalist. He knew. He was on my trail in Ludwigsburg, the war crime center.
But you're not a war criminal, Mr. Newman.
I lived a lie for 40 years with my reputation. He said it would be a big story. He said he would tell before the anniversary. I couldn't let him do that. So I arranged to meet him, and I shot him. But it was the wrong man. Why did the wrong man come? Why? I'm just a jeweler, I'm not a bad man. Tell David I'm not a bad man.